very good evening to our viewers. Welcome to the Evening Review Show. I'm your host, Matthias Aufiko. Well, election fever is upon us, and political parties are busy crisscrossing the country, putting their campaign messages across as they try and garner as much support before the election slated for 27 November. One of the issues that have taken center stage, especially in manifestos, is the issue of women representation and gender equality. In studio for that topic tonight, we have Ms. Fransina Kahungu. She is the secretary of the Swapo Party Women's Council. Ms. Kahungu, good evening and welcome to the Evening Review.
A very good morning to you and viewers. Ahmad.
It's indeed good to have you here. Well, let's get right into things. There's been this talk of enhanced women's representation in the political arena over the years, and we really saw it really evolving. A lot of parties have women in their top structures nowadays. It wasn't the case in the past. What can we ascribe this to? What's making this change really happen as fast as we want it to?
Thank you very much. As I appreciate the opportunity, what we can say about this is that Swapo Party is leading in all spheres of life. Swapo Party has been the only political party which has been led by women since its inception. If you can recall very well, from the beginning of the formation of Ovambaran People's Organization, women were there. Then mainly when Swapo Party was formed, women were part of the leadership. So what we are saying is that Swapo Party is leading, influencing also other political parties to realize that women need to be in a bigger positions of leadership.
Yeah. But what do you think, why did it take us so long to realize this?
I really don't understand your question, because you need to compare the other political parties comparing to Swapo Party. How old is Swapo Party? Swapo Party all along have been having women leading, but other political parties, majorities just started. So, and this is their time to have women in leadership. So all what I'm saying is women also in Namibia realize that they need to be in position of leadership, and they need to sit at the table where major decisions are being made.
Talk to us a bit about the 50-50, the gender policy that the party introduced a few years ago. It was very controversial at the time, of course, where some people felt that this is a tool to wheelbarrow women into positions instead of really looking for giving the women the opportunity to fight their way up the ladder of power. Do you think that it has bore the fruits over the years?
Let me tell you one secret which I just realized these days. I have been reading the history of Swapo Party, especially women leaders, and I observed that in the year 1974, Comrade Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah already made a statement saying that women need to be put at the place where they're supposed to be. She already then indicated that we need to have women, and also she mentioned we need to have equal representation of both male and female in leadership. And also His Excellency, the founding president, Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nujoma, already during the Congress of Swapo Party Women's Council, the first Congress in 1980, he mentioned his desire to have more women in leadership. So the controversial of the 50-50 equal representation came to those who did not understand it, and it was made controversial to those who were not willing for it to be implemented.
Yeah, but why would someone not be in support of such a move, especially if you're a party member?
I think we need to look at the way how a man and woman is created. Just look at the young kids playing. You will realize that the small boy will always want to beat the young or the older girls. So maybe in nature there is something inborn which made men to always think that they are superior to women.
As the Swapo Party Women's Council, are you happy with the status quo of women representation within the party?
I am very happy for the question because you are just testifying that up until now you are not convinced that the 50-50 in Swapo Party is going to work, and it is bearing fruit.
Yeah.
I am very happy, more specifically, that it will be for the first time when Namibia will be led by a female president. And I am very happy, more specifically, that it is for the first time that Swapo Party is putting up a female presidential candidate. Of course, as a Swapo Party Women's Council Secretary, and this institution is aimed to uplift women, I am definitely happy.
Yeah. Of course, those parties who've already launched their manifestos have dedicated quite a sizable amount of attention to the issue of women's representation and gender balancing. Away from the political sphere, from a society point of view, do you think it's spilling over from the politics into society in general as far as women empowerment is concerned?
Thank you very much. Let us start this way. For a person to be fully developed, you must be developed, or you must develop yourself in 5 spheres. So now I'm going to respond to your question in this manner. The traditional one, the culture one, have been already putting women at the forefront. I do not want to mention here, but you know very well, the queens who are leading various traditional authorities, and those who have been doing so. Currently, religious-wise, we observe the first ever female bishop elected. So you can already see that the trend has been there. And I do not want to mention the economic. So many women have been leading in business. So maybe one can just say that it has been long overdue for politics to have a female at the level of a president. But other spheres of life have been doing it properly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So politics has been left behind?
Not really per se, but at the level of a leader, of the head of state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in terms of nurturing and really grooming female leaders, what are some of the things that you still feel needs to be looked at from a systemic point of view?
In regarding to that question, we really need to look into a matter of grooming a leader to be able to lead and also to be able to command the subordinates. This, we have to start by just from the beginning, the way we raise our boy and girl child. We must raise them in a manner that we shall not say this type of job must only be done by a boy. If we start from there, then we will have the understanding of both male and female to understand that all these types of work can be done by both male and females, men and women. So now, what makes it a bit difficult is not that women are not capable. No, it's just a belief among men and women too that the women cannot be a leader at a given level. It's just that one, the understanding there. So we need to change from the way we raise our children.
So when would we, which is the appropriate level where we would say we've now reached that level of equality? When what happens? Because we keep on talking about grooming and nurturing female leaders and so on, and the girl child. So what are the indicators of having reached that objective of gender equality?
We need to do that considering our own culture, our own way of what is that we call gender equality. I remember vividly the time when the topic of gender equality started. Some were thinking gender equality is equals to feminism. Some were thinking gender equality is equals to men to be the one to look after the children. So while some thought gender equality is equals to making women to do as what men are doing. Some also made it to be seen as gender equality as men doing what women supposed to do or what they are doing. So with the gender equality, we will ask, when are we going to realize it? I really cannot answer here now, because we need to understand first and to agree. When we are talking about gender equality, what is that we are referring to? And what are the things which needs to be done equally by both female and males? So allow me to really warn and caution us not to be carried out by some agendas which might come through gender equality, but they might not do us good.
Yeah. What are some of those agendas you are referring to?
What am I trying to say? Let us remember that for any country, for any nation to be there, is only when you have men and women, when you have female and males, and these, they come together and they create a human being. Because if you have a young generation, then you'll have a community. In the end, you'll have a nation. What are some things of the gender equalities we are saying we must look out here for? Some want to say that gender equality is equals to human rights, whereby you can just say, we am doing this because of gender equality, or I am doing this because, as a female, for example, I am doing this type of activities because males are also doing it. One simple thing: a female person, a woman, need to behave in such manners which are showing that this is a mother of a house. Moshiwambo, there is that proverb that eumbo onkulikavi. For you to have a proper household is when there is a woman, because this is a person who will know the needs of all the people. Male creatures, all over wherever they are, they run around as they wish. You look for in the same characteristics in the goats, in the donkeys, in the cows, not cows, but in the cattle. You will see that there is a certain way of behaviors of male creatures. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that the gender equality must never overlook the way how we are created and why we are created in different manners.
I would like to hear from you. Of course, one of the topics of interest in recent years, when you speak of gender equality, and we also heard it playing out in court, and you spoke about the issue of human creation, the men and women. As the Swapo Party Women's Council, what is your position on this issue of the LGBTQ community? You spoke of now how we should not forget the creation of how humans were created and so on. So what is the women's wing of the ruling party's position on this matter?
In the first place, allow me to tell you that so far we have not discussed, now as Swapo Party Women's Council, we have not discussed the issue of that one. But Swapo Party Women's Council is in a very difficult position, because all these who put themselves in lesbians, gays, and what are children born by a woman. Now you don't know where to draw a line. You don't know whom to throw away. You don't know reasons to influence you. As a mother, all you do is just to pray and to guide your children that you are a man. Please do according to how men they're supposed to behave. Worse enough nowadays, we learned and we heard that there are some people who practice things not because nature, they made them to practice like that, but because of some external factors. So allow me to use the opportunity to say it is just good to enjoy your life, enjoy it in the manner which you were created for. I know very well that there are people who happen to be born with more hormones of a male while they are female, and while there are some males which are born with more hormones which are supposed to be for a female. So such people, even in the past, they existed, but there were ways how to deal with them, but they were not a big number comparing to what is happening today. As a mother, where do you draw a line? I ask myself, what we need to do is just to guide our children and also to encourage them, if they were born men, to remain like that and to practice things which are supposed to be made by real men.
Well, Ms. Kahungu, we head for a short commercial break and we'll be back to continue this conversation. To our viewers, we head for a short break. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back from the short break. Ms. Kahungu, to get back to the upcoming elections, of course, the ruling party is fighting to retain its mandate of leading the country. What is the Women's Council's responsibility towards the overall objective of the party as far as the upcoming elections is concerned?
Thank you very much. I like the question. Swapo Party Women's Council is a wing of the Swapo Party. Of course, there is a responsibility of implementing the policies and decisions of Swapo Party. In this case, we are to implement the strategies which are put there by Swapo Party. I'm referring to elections campaign strategies. We are also to go door to door and inform the people that this is our time. Swapo Party Women's Council is to celebrate one of the things which he has been fighting for. Swapo Party Women's Council is about to celebrate one of its biggest achievement, because remember, the 50-50 of gender equal representation was not brought up by mainly men, but mainly by women. So, and we are encouraging the women to take part in the campaign and also to influence the people so that they go in big numbers and vote for Swapo Party's presidential candidate, who is a female, Comrade Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. So ours is to mobilize heavily.
Yeah. Of course, you mentioned that you are part of the collective. But from a structure point of view, what are some of those areas that you and your team have looked at to say, as a wing, if we do this, we think we can ensure that the party retains power?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, and it's not a secret because we are visible, we are seen, we are visiting houses, is door to door. We are influencing people wherever we find them. We made it a point to put on Swapo Party attires and that of our presidential candidate. We are distributing the t-shirts, the posters. We are doing, or as I said, as per Swapo Party campaign strategies.
Yeah. Talk to us about youth empowerment within your structure. What are you doing in that regard to ensure that young women are in the leadership of the Women's Council? What is being done in that regard?
I like the question because this is one of the things which we are not doing very well. For a person to become a member of Swapo Party Women's Council is when you are only 18 years of age. However, I observed that few young women joined Swapo Party Women's Council. Last year, we had a workshop whereby we we look at strategies on how to attract young women to become members of Swapo Party Women's Council. And this is yielding results, as we can see from the recruitment of new members of Swapo Party Women's Council. I observe that we have a big number of young people joining Swapo Party Women's Council. However, I must say that coming to meetings and activities of Swapo Party Women's Council, the young women are not yet attracted, but we come up with various ways of having activities which are attracting young women. We started with sports also, and we asked the young women to come up with activities, and then Swapo Party Women's Council do sponsor or assist in various ways. But I want to believe that moving forward, we'll have more young women. And we also started to look for ambassador young women so that they become ambassador for Swapo Party Women's Council to attract others.
Yeah. So what do you think is the reason for the hesitancy of them for them not to come to the activities or join the Women's Council? What are some of those factors?
I am going to respond to this question with the facts. Last year, we carried out research in 5 regions where we asked the young women if their participation in Women's Council, and we asked them also why they were not participating. The majority felt that Swapo Party Women's Council was an extension of Swapo Party Elders Council. Some, they told us also that the activities carried out by Women's Council are not attracting them. So, and then we asked them to propose what is that we can do to attract them. So, against their proposals is what we are implementing. So, we really that research helped us a lot.
Yeah. Are you seeing a difference?
Yes, I do so because I think you observe so many young women wearing even bucket hats written Swapo Party Women's Council, and they are coming also to Women's Council activities. So that is the positive outcome.
Yeah. But what is the situation like within the top structures of the Women's Council, the composition thereof, as far as young people are concerned? Say, for instance, the top 5 of the council.
Yeah, that one also, it is one of the concerns raised, and I want to believe that it came up in this manner because for you to become a central committee member of Swapo Party Women's Council, you need to serve at least for 5 years. So with a lot of young women not understanding or maybe not wanted to join Swapo Party Women's Council, that also made the top structure of Swapo Party Women's Council to have mainly matured women, but not really young women per se. However, I must also testify that we have a number, although not big, of young women. But allow me to use the opportunity to say young women of Namibia who believe in the aims and objectives of Swapo Party, please feel free, and you are the one to become a member of Swapo Party Women's Council, because like the theme of Swapo Party is saying for the elections, unity in diversity, natural resources beneficiation, and youth empowerment for sustainable development. So now, if Swapo Party Women's Council does not have young women, then the future will never be sustainable, because if you don't have a young crops, then your future will not be good, because you need to have young people who will have the institutional memory of the council, and then these will be the people to carry on with the council.
Yes. Just as we wrap up, would you say the party as a whole is evolving with time, not just politically, but also from a socio-economic point of view? Would you say the party is in touch with the reality on the ground?
Me, I don't understand the question, because Swapo Party has been providing quality services since 1990. I'm referring now to inside the country. And for the past 34 years, it has been Swapo who have been doing all those. And that's why we are asking for the mandate to be given another chance to continue ruling. So now if you ask if Swapo Party has been in touch with the reality on the ground, I really don't understand, because even for you to be here, it is because there is peace which was brought here by Swapo Party. You will never sit at this side of town and also in this company. I think we must be honest with ourselves and with the reality on the ground. It is us who don't want, like in your case, who are asking such a question. These are the same people who do not even want to see what is that being done by Swapo Party. But you ask it just for the sake of asking. I can just answer to say, yes, Swapo Party is seeing what is happening and is in touch with the reality on the ground.
Well, Ms. Kahungu, thank you very much for your time this evening. And we wish you well for the campaigns ahead for you and your team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and wish you also a peaceful reporting.
Thank you very much. Well, to our viewers, that's it from the Evening Review team. See you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a pleasant evening.